What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video we're going to be looking at the key differences between the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and the Moto X Style or Moto X Pure depending on where you're from. So the Note 5 was announced yesterday and it's the latest offering in Samsung's phablet category. The Moto X Style was announced a few weeks ago. You can see some hands-on coverage of it on the channel, and I did do a hands-on comparison of the Moto X Style with the Samsung Galaxy S6, but with the Note 5 out, this is more of a comparable device. So what are the key differences between these two? Well, let's get straight into it. In terms of the screen size, you've got the same screen size, 5.7 inches on both here, although there's some differences in terms of the screen technology. You've got a Super AMOLED versus TFT LCD. Now, in my personal experience, I have preferred Super AMOLED. I believe the colors are better, and also the blacks are a little bit more deeper compared to LCD TFT. We'll have to spend some more time with both devices in order to be able to determine which one is better overall. You've also got Gorilla Glass 4 on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 compared to Gorilla Glass 3 on the Moto X Style. So the Note 5 is going to be a little bit more tougher in that sense because of the latest Gorilla Glass on here. Resolution wise, you've got QuadHD here on both 2560 by 1440, roughly about 518 to 520 ppi, so a very high pixel density. You're going to get some very sharp detail on both displays. Now, although both of these have the same screen size, there is some very minor differences in terms of the physical dimensions. The Moto X Style does come in roughly about 0.7 millimeters taller and 0.1 millimeters wider. So in terms of the width, there's really nothing in it. The Moto X Style ever so slightly bigger, but this is not something that you're going to be noticing because both devices have very small bezels. In terms of the height, this is because of those dual front-facing speakers, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. In terms of the thickness, the Moto X Style is thicker, 3.5 millimeters, so quite a bit thicker compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, but that is because it is curved at the back, so this is at its thickest point. And the Moto X Style also comes in roughly about 8 grams heavier compared to the Note 5. Now, in terms of the build on the Moto X Style, you've got a metal frame with a soft touch back. Now, this is replaceable, so you can get lots of different options. I believe there's 18 different options that you can customize via the Moto Maker. So if you are somebody into customizing your device, then the Moto X Style will be a great option for you. With the Note 5, you've got a similar build to the Samsung Galaxy S6, where you've got the metal frame with glass panels on the front and the back. Now, what the difference is here is that the glass panel is slightly curved at the back, so you've got some edges on here which should make it a little bit more comfortable to hold. Now, this may seem a little bit more premium here on the Note 5, but the problem you're going to have with glass on the back is that it's going to be slippery in the hand, and it's also going to attract a lot of fingerprints. With the Moto X Style, in the experience that I used, it was very grippy because of that textured back. Yes, you're going to have lots of options, but most of them do have a lot of grip compared to the glass on the Note 5. Now, moving on to the internals, with the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, you have Samsung's Exynos chip, which is octa-core. This is the same chip that you've got on the Samsung Galaxy S6. It's been pretty smooth and snappy in my experience. Now, with the Moto X Style, you've got the Snapdragon 808, which is a hexa-core chip, so that's 6 cores. This is the same as what we've got on the LG G4. So although it's 6 versus 8, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you will have to put these side by side to see speed and performance, but you won't notice a huge deal of difference, I would say. In terms of the RAM, you do have an advantage here on the Note 5 with 4 gigabytes compared to 3 gigabytes. So in terms of multitasking, the Note 5 should be a little bit better, and some of the features, multitasking features that Samsung have included, should definitely work a little bit better with the Note 5. We'll be talking about those a little bit later. In terms of storage options, with the Moto X Style, you've got 16, 32 and 64 gigabyte options. With the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, you've got 32 and 64. Now, there may be a 128 gigabyte version coming later on, but at this time, if you want to pre-order, then you can only get the 32 or 64 gigabyte versions. Now, what's interesting here is that the Moto X Style does come with an SD card slot, so you can expand the storage on here up to 128 gigabytes. This is something that Samsung were actually known for, having that expandable storage, and they've actually got rid of it this time around. So I know that's going to be quite negative for a lot of people out there, and this is something that Samsung are doing going forward, so something we're going to have to live with if you want to go for a Samsung device. Now, moving on to the cameras, the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 has a 16 megapixel camera. It's got optical image stabilization with an f1.9 aperture. This is said to be either the same or very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S6. Samsung didn't really go into too much details about any differences. They were referring to the S6 camera a lot on the presentation of the Note 5. With the Moto X Style, you've got a 21 megapixel camera. This does not have optical image stabilization and it's an f2.0 aperture. Now quality wise, we will have to put these side by side, but DxOMark has already put the Samsung Galaxy S6 above the Moto X Style. So that's interesting because the Note 5, considering that it's got either the same or similar sensor to the S6, it's already ranked higher compared to the Moto X Style. Plus you've got optical image stabilization on here, something you don't have on the Moto X Style. So I would personally already give the edge to the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. In terms of quick launching the cameras, you can double press the home button on the Note 5 to launch it. It works really great on the Samsung Galaxy S6 and it's great to see this implemented on the Note 5. With the Moto X Style, you also have quick launch, so you just have to twist the device twice and that will launch the camera. This is something that we've had from previous Moto X devices. In terms of video, you've got 4K recording on both, but with the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, you do have VDIS. So this is software image stabilization, which works alongside the optical image stabilization. So that should give you some smooth footage. You have video stabilization, software video stabilization on the Moto X Style, but it's not got optical image stabilization. So in terms of smooth video, then the Note 5 does get the edge here. You've also got live broadcasting on the Note 5, which is working in partnership with YouTube. So you're going to be able to live stream 1080p straight onto YouTube. Not sure how well that will work with things like Periscope. You can follow me on Periscope, by the way, Super Saf. And that's just something that we're going to have to see when the device has been out for a bit and see if that really picks up or not. In terms of the front-facing cameras, you've got 5 megapixels on both here, f1.9 on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and f2.0 on the Moto X Style. However, you do have an LED flash on the front-facing camera of the Moto X Style. So for those low light situations, that should really help out. We'll have to look at the differences side by side when both devices are commercially available. So we will look at those in a little bit more detail and see which one comes out on top. In terms of the operating systems, you've got Android Lollipop on both devices, but you've got their skins, somewhat skins on top. So TouchWiz does have a pretty heavy skin, which is from Samsung, and that's going to be coming on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. You do get some additional features such as multi-window, which I find very useful, especially at a screen size this large. Now with the Moto X Style, you have a very minimal skin, so it is very close to stock Android. Motorola have added some additional features. So you can, for example, have Moto Assist, which is going to give you suggestions when you are home. For example, it can go into loud mode. When you're at work, then it can automatically detect that you're at work and go into silent mode and things like that. So it is quite useful, and you've also got some advanced voice commands and things on the Moto X Style. You will also be getting updates on the Moto X Style quicker than the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, and that is because of the close to stock nature that Motorola offer. In terms of the additional features that both devices have, the Moto X Style does have dual front-facing speakers, so this is going to give you much better sound compared to the single bottom-facing speaker that you have on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. The Samsung Galaxy Note 5, however, does have some additional hardware features, such as a fingerprint scanner on the home button. This is a touch button, so this should give you some more features in terms of unlocking your device. Plus Samsung Pay is going to be coming soon, so it's going to be launched in US from September and rolling out across the world after that. So you're going to be able to make payments. Samsung have said pretty much anywhere that takes contactless payments, you are going to be able to make payments with the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So that should be very interesting. We can't comment on it too much because that is yet to be coming in. You've also got LTE Cat 9 support on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. On the Moto X Style, you only have up to LTE 6, so this will give you some more faster speeds when LTE Cat 9 is available. I believe it's not available in many places as yet, or maybe not anywhere in the US as yet, but it should be coming soon as far as I'm aware. You also have the S Pen on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. Now this is what the Samsung Galaxy Note devices are known for, some of these additional features that you have, and with the S Pen it has been improved. So firstly, you've got clicking mechanism, so this is going to click out and be a bit more smoother there. You can also take notes when the screen is off, so if you want to quickly take a note, you just pull out the pen, jot down, say, a number or something like that, put it back, and it will save that note. So you're not going to even have to unlock the device or anything like that. A very, very useful feature. You've also got other features such as scroll capture, which is going to capture long web pages and things, or if you want to get a Twitter timeline or something like that, instead of just doing a single screen capture or maybe multiple screen captures, you can just have this long screen capture, which is going to be very, very useful. Samsung are also offering a keyboard cover, so a physical keyboard cover, which is very, very useful. Yeah, let's not talk about that anymore. Let's move on to the battery. So you've got 3000 milliamps on both of these devices, so the same size battery. Neither of these are removable, so you're not going to be able to carry around a spare or anything like that. Now with both of these, you do have fast charging, so this is great. So you're going to be able to charge the devices much faster than a normal. Now with the Moto X Style, they have said that it's faster than the Samsung Galaxy S6, which will make it faster than the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, considering that the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 actually has a larger battery. So this will be faster on the Moto X Style. But one thing that you do have on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 is wireless charging. It does not come with the Moto X Style. You've also got fast wireless charging. Now, although the fast wireless charging isn't going to be as fast as the wired fast charging, it is faster than your standard charging. So this is really nice to see and definitely a step in the right direction. Finally, looking at pricing and availability, the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 is going to be available from the 21st of August, and you're looking at roughly between $700 to $750 off contract. But this is only in the US and Canada, so worldwide availability has not been mentioned. Some are saying early next year. So if you want to be able to get hold of the Note 5, then you might have to import it in or have to wait till they actually make it available. I find this a very, very annoying thing because I'm here in the UK and I really wanted to get my hands on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, and it's a real shame that this is not going to be available in the UK and other markets as yet anyway, but it might be quite delayed. Could be months until we actually see it here. Now with the Moto X Style, here's what's interesting. It's going to be available from early September, but pricing is very, very low. It's going to be starting at roughly about £369 or $399. So if we compare this off-contract price to the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, you're paying much, much less. So although some of the features are not here on the Moto X Style, such as the S Pen and also some of the camera features might not be as good as the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, but you are getting it at a much, much lower price, almost half the price actually, if you actually come to think about it. Then that is a great option for the Moto X Style. What do you think of both of these devices? Which one do you think is better? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you want to see more hands-on coverage of many of the devices, then do subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.